Actually, I do apologise, I've got them mixed up. Let me drag that back and select the right one, drag that over. Okay, wait till it's, snap it back there, and then we're going to go to the edit, free transform, and flip horizontal. And as you can see, that flipped it horizontal, but what we're left with is our drop shadow on the wrong side. So we need to go back into the left panel effects. You can either double click on the effects text there, or click option. Then we're going to go to our overlay. In the angle, we're going to type 180 degrees and enter, which gives us the effect we're looking for. Just going to select the left folder again and drag that out a little bit more. Is it? Okay, just to make sure it's lined up correctly, because the drop shadow didn't look quite right down there. So we've now got our open book effect, as you can see, with our 2 page arches and a lighter drop shadow this side. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can kind of get a better feel for that. You can see it's quite a nice effect going on there. To zoom in now, I pressed Control spacebar, which gives you the plus zoom plus there, and then left clicked. I'm going to press Control 0 to zoom back out to view the whole document. Next, I'm going to close up these 2 folders. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to drag it down below the down below the 2 folders, not into the folder, and we'll make sure the layer is selected. I'm going to go and select a lightish blue and say something like that. As you can probably tell, I'm not the most coloured coordinated boy. Any colours will do. I tend to use an online colour selector, to generate sort of colours for my design work. Then making sure we've got the layer selected that we want to draw on, I've clicked the rectangle tool with the blue colour selected in the foreground, and then I'm going to draw out a rectangle, or square, whatever you want to call it, just giving it a little bit of room on the left and right and the top and bottom. As you can see, we've got a little bit of an issue there. Just going to push that, press V on the keyboard to select the move tool, use the cursor keys to move that up. You can see for some reason we've got the layer effects added to this new layer. I'm just going to right click on there, clear layer style, so we get the blue effect that we actually picked, and then we're going to double click on that to open the blending styles or layer style. Going to add a shadow and emboss, and we're going to add a pattern to that. I'm going to select the pattern options there, and you can see we've got the pattern selected that I'm looking for in there, which is what was it called? Fibers, craft. Well, let's go with fibers, charcoal. Let's just go with this craft waffle. That looks kind of waffly. And if you don't see the patterns that you're looking for in there, you can select the little arrow there, and then the next arrow inside the dialog box there, and go down and select which patterns you're looking for. Okay, we're going to just reduce the opacity down a little bit, say around 50%, something like that, and OK. Oh, didn't actually mean to do. Double click again. We need to add a style. We're going to add a stroke to it, around, not not that much, say 7 or 8, and on the bevel and emboss we need to just move that up a little bit as well, give it quite a nice effect, and we're all sort of looking. Don't worry about this. This will tidy up, look a little bit nicer shortly when we do some more tweaking to it. I'm just going to get the selection rectangle tool back again, and I'm going to get we'll leave that on there, and I'm going to select use the rounded rectangle tool, giving it a radius, the corners a radius of about 18 pixels, and roughly where the gradient sort of starts out there. If you just go outside the border that we just applied and drag down across, just sort of sticking out past the border, and as you can see, that's sort of the styles have applied to that again. If you get stuck with that, which at one point I did, when you've got your tools selected, I'm not 100% sure whether it works on every tool, but when you're using your shapes, you can see this little icon here, which is style, and it's applied the style that I created. If you don't want that to happen, you can go in and select the sort of checked or crossed out option there, which adds your new shape with no styles applied to it. But as we want the style to be applied all around there, then that's worked out quite well. And then just going to go back to the layer panel and close that down, and with pressing shift on the keyboard and left click to select both of those, I'm going to merge layers, okay, because there's no reason for that to be separated. And then I'm going to, with the shape layer selected, I'm going to press Ctrl T to transform that, and we're just going to drag these up a little bit. As I said before, it's not too much of a big deal to have them. Wow, that kind of looks a little bit strange. I think I might have dragged this shape that I applied for the seam of the book, looks a little bit sort of protruding out a little bit too far, but never mind. You can bear that in mind when you create yours and before you merge the layers, and there's no going back without a bit more Control Alt and X. Okay, just going to drag that in a little bit more, and if you find yourself, I'm just going to press Control Return to accept them changes. If you find when you're trying to adjust this that it's snapping to different objects on there, you can go into View and untick the snap option there. As you can see, I've done that previously. Sometimes it's very useful, sometimes it's a complete nightmare. So okay, that's pretty much it for our open book effect. I will, if people enjoyed this tutorial, if you enjoyed my sort of style of these tutorials, if you leave me some comments, I will further this tutorial with a few sort of minor improvements, and let me know anyway if you do like the tutorials, because I'd like some to create some more. I'm just going to show you this one that I think, oh no, it's sorry guys, I'll show you this one that I first attempted. I went a little bit further with it, I believe. I used some different colours, and is that going to open? So I'll go slow, which I applied the bookmarks to, which obviously if you were sort of using this, you can either use it as sort of web navigation or something like that, but I just thought I'd show you that quickly. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks very much for watching. Thank you.